2024 was a wild year for any and all amusement industry fans. New record-breaking rides opened, other rides ceased operation for varying periods of time, and arguably most notable of all, a bunch of rides closed permanently. But there is one coaster that took the community by storm for so many different reasons. And because of this, 2025 could very well decide whether or not this coaster continues operation normally or gets the axe. Now before I reveal the ride in question, let's go a little bit deeper on what happened in 2024, specifically the ride removals. It all started in the summer when practically out of left field, removal rumors emerged regarding Kingda Ka, the world's tallest coaster. Among many other rides in the park, of course. At first, not many people thought much of these rumors, but after markers were discovered surrounding the Kingda Ka and Green Lantern ride areas, that's when the coaster community woke up in utter disarray. And sure enough, on November 10th, Kingda Ka, Green Lantern, and half of the flat rides in existence operated for what would be their final day open to the public. La Vibora at Six Flags Over Texas was also confirmed to be removed around this time, with its last operational day being November 3rd. Then Six Flags turned to Carowinds on December 18th, announcing the removal of Drop Tower, Scream Reaver, and the world's first large-scale flying coaster, Nighthawk. Finally, 1 week later, on Christmas Day, Anaconda's closure was announced, which is just a foul ending to Six Flags Death Row. Imagine waking up on Christmas Day, checking your phone, and realizing your favorite coaster closed for good. Obviously, this isn't the best example, but still, that's cruel for almost any ride. And that was only the last removal of 2024, the plague has continued into this year. Overall, the most defining characteristic of these removals is that there were no chances for anyone to bid farewell properly to these rides, as Six Flags either didn't announce they were removing them or these coasters had already closed for the season. And it's safe to say that the circumstances were prone to robust backlash from the public and especially enthusiasts. So with all this context out of the way, let's go back to the main point and reveal the not so mysterious coaster. The ride that will be fighting for its service life in 2025 is Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point. Ever since it shocked the world at the dawn of the 2003 season as Top Thrill Dragster, this coaster has been a clearly successful addition but also an equally magnificent maintenance nightmare. And following the ride's nail in the coffin being a major accident in August 2021, Dragster, its trains, its track, and its launch were all retrofitted and renovated with newer technology courtesy of Italian manufacturer Zamperla. When the ride reopened with a brand new LSM swing launch, backward spike, and new trains in 2024, the maintenance issues barely even changed. After literally 8 days of operating to the public, long story short, the ride closed for what would eventually be the rest of the season due to mechanical problems involving the trains. Just like that, Dragster was sent right back into hibernation as Zamperla worked tirelessly on each and every issue to ensure that it would open for the following season. So that brings us to the now in 2025, where Cedar Point's opening date with their 2 new rides is upon us. And let me just say, I think the coaster community was spot on with their predictions. If you don't remember, back when Zamperla Track was first arriving on site and hype surrounding the ride was at an all-time high, many were saying that this would either be a huge success or a terrible failure. This is held true for other renovations as well. Steel Phantom into Phantom's Revenge, success. Dodonpa into Dodonpa, failure. What I'm getting at here is that this trend will hold true almost as if it were a prophecy. Top Thrill 2 cannot and will not stay on the fence in terms of success rate, it's falling one way or the other. And its service life that still lies ahead, long or short, may ultimately be determined by its performance in 2025. So with all of this out of the way, what are some possible outcomes for the iconic and beautiful mess that is Top Thrill 2? On one hand, the ride reopens as planned with improved mechanical conditions and more rave reviews similar to the reviews we saw at Media Day last year. This would obviously lead to the continual operation past the major hiccups of 2024 and beyond. And with Siren's Curse debuting alongside the world's only remaining Stratocoaster, I see a successful season for Cedar Point and Top Thrill 2 in this outcome. This includes larger crowd draws as well as normal or even prosperous operation. On the other hand, little changes, if anything, from the catastrophic 2024 season, and the coaster continues to serve as the home of the Cedar Point maintenance team and nothing else. This scenario concerns me as this could possibly cause Six Flags to lose their patience and permanently close the ride altogether. Now before you throw this outcome out the window with how much they've invested into the ride, remember all those removals including the world's tallest roller coaster? Yeah, if there was one thing to take away from the 2024 theme park season, it's that the new Phase 2 Six Flags is not messing around. If they see fit, they will rid themselves of undesirable, unpopular, and unneeded attractions for future expansion or just to do it. Now, I won't say that this scenario is more likely to happen than the first, but it's on the table big time and probably wouldn't be in this discussion if it wasn't for Six Flags' version of Death Row. Then again, even without all the ride removals, Top Thrill 2 had so many major issues that kept it closed for practically a whole season, and not even its iconic status can keep it safe from the scrapyard. So in summary, I believe that Top Thrill 2, despite its skyline-changing stature, beyond thrilling experience, and fan-favorite status, could very well be on the chopping block. However, 2025 could be the performance check that Six Flags needs in order to observe whether or not the decision to axe the ride is necessary for them. Remember, Six Flags is in it for the business, not to keep fan-favorite rides running forevermore despite how much it may cost them. We know that now. And it really is a shame to even think that such an iconic and game-breaking attraction like this would be in these unthinkable and extreme circumstances. But all rides and their service lives, including the best of the best, must eventually come to an end, and Dragster's performance this season could greatly annex or extract up to years out of its potential service life. But what do you all think? Is Dragster in trouble, or will it survive and thrive for many more years as initially planned? Signing off for now, this has been Storm, and I'll see you coaster lovers next time. Thanks for watching.